Hello magical hands, and welcome to another pattern drafting tutorial. If it's your first time, hi, my name is Jessica, and if you're a returning subscriber, thank you for coming back. In this video, we're going to be making the patterns for this reversible corset right here on the screen with the modesty panel. And if this is something you want to learn, make sure to keep on watching, make sure to like, make sure to share, and make sure to use the dislike button if you don't like what we're doing here. If you're a beginner and you have no idea about sewing, I also want to make this corset. There is a video you need to watch before this one, which will be linked right in the description box, and it's also be pinned in the comment section below. And let's get into the video of today proper. I've already drafted out the basic bodies of a blouse, and I have a detailed video of that. Like I said in my intro, it will be pinned down in the description box. I have the front pattern and the back pattern, and we'll be starting with the front patterns. Okay, make sure to check the link that is pinned in the comment section there. So for this pattern, I'm going to be using my bra cup to do my corset, and this method is going to be very easy. So make sure you get a bra cup that is your size, that is the same size as your bust, okay? And I'll quickly go over the line. I have my shoulder line right there, and for the neckline, I just use the regular 3x3 inches. Next, I have my shoulder to my bust point. I have my shoulder to my under bust line. I have my shoulder to my waist line, which I use 17 inches, and the shoulder to my full length, which is 21 inches, okay? Moving on, it's important to determine the chest line of your corset. That's where the whole corset stuff will start from. But like I said, we are going to be using our bra cup, so we are going to ignore everything about chest line or the upper darts. We are just going to focus on the darts of the lower body. So I'll just keep the corset so we can be seen from there. First thing you're going to mark is your apex measurement. Your apex measurement is your nipple to nipple measurement divided by 2. You're going to mark it on all the points from your bust point down to your full length, and you will connect it downwards with a straight line as seen. Now, on the under bust line, you're going to take half an inch apart from the apex measurements. No matter your measurement, since you are using the cup method, just go ahead and take only half an inch. And then on the waistline, you also take half an inch apart from the apex measurements. And then you go ahead and connect these measurements to meet the bust point and to meet the full length in a slanted form. The aim is whatever you do to your under bust, make sure you are doing it to your waistline as well. This is the dart of the dress. Now we are going to use that under bust and waistline dart to fold this whole paper up, okay? We are going to close everything up, even though I know the dart does not extend to that part, but make sure to use that dart measurement of the under bust and the waistline to fold your pattern paper up. Now on the bust point, you're going to mark inwards half an inch. Very important that it's half an inch. And now you're going to place your cup from that half an inch. Make sure that your cup is not above that under bust line or below it. Make sure it is sitting right on that point. So now that I've placed it, I'm going to tilt the cup. I'm going to shift the cup so it is seated right on the under bust line. And this way we already have our chest line. So I'll just go ahead with my pencil and trace out the outlines of this bra cup. This method is very easy. Like I already said, just go ahead, and that is going to be our chest line instead of us marking and all of that. Make sure that the bra cup is your size. So now I'll go ahead with my marker and I will recreate this line. I'll redefine the lines with the marker so it is much more visible. This is exactly the cup we are going to use. We've already gotten the shape out from the pattern paper. That is the whole aim. But make sure that you fold your dart before trace your cup on the pattern paper. So now we are going to keep this cup aside, and we are going to mark our round bust measurement divided by 4. Mine gives me 9.75, and I'll mark right there, and I'll bring that bust measurement to my armhole as well. On the under bust line, I'll mark my round under bust measurement. I'll divide it by 4, which gives me 8.5. I'll mark it there. Remember the dart is closed. And then on the waistline, I'll do the same thing as well. But for the full length, I'll have to open up the pattern paper, and then I'll mark my upper hip, okay? The full length, 21 inches, that area, the upper hip or the lower waist is the measurements you will use there, and mine is 10 inches. That's divided by 4. So this is what the bodice of this corset looks like, and we are going to cut everything out. We are not going to be using the yoke, okay, but you can keep this yoke in case you will need it for another project. This is what it's looking like so far. Like I said, we are not going to use the yoke, but I just labeled it as yoke and I wrote F indicating as the front yoke. And I will cut this out and take out this cup because we'll not be needing that, and then I'll cut out the dart. Okay, so this is what our front piece is looking like, and then this is our bra cup sitting right where it should be. So we are done with the front pattern, and I'll just put my arrow placement indicating that those two are supposed to be joined together, and that part is supposed to be joined to something which is the bra cup. Okay, just your arrow placement. And I indicated my patterns as CF, that is center front 1 and side front 2. The pattern is in 1 and 2, and we'll move over to the back piece. Now for our back patterns, I'm going to still bring back my front patterns. This part is totally not even necessary, but just get the point here. So the part where the side front ends at the top part, that is where the back is going to start from. Okay, the main point is that they are supposed to be equal by the sides. So I marked my apex measurements, which we already did at the front piece, from the bust point down to the full length. And now when taking the dart of the back piece, your focus point is not your under bust. Now it is only the waistline that is your focus point for your dart of the back piece. So you take 1/2 inch apart from only the waistline, and then you will connect it in a slanted form to meet the full length and to meet the bust point. This is what your dart should look like. Now we can go ahead and start marking our round bodice measurements, which you already did with the front piece. While you are marking it, make sure to replace that dart measurements. Remember, the front piece, we folded the dart, so we were not replacing any dart measurements. So just go ahead and make sure to replace all that dart measurement, because we'll be cutting out that dart space. And then extend this your measurement to the armhole as well. So now for the neckline, the chest of the back piece, I'm going to use the bust point as the chest line of the back piece. So I'm just going to connect from that armhole downwards to meet the bust point, just as seen. And now I'm going to subtract 2 inches from this. This is my exact measurement right here. Remember, this blouse, we are not going to need the zip allowance for it. So I'm just going to minus 2 inches from the actual measurement, and the remaining space is the part where there'll be space, you know, at the back, so we can lace the back. So now I'll just use my marker to define the lower line, and I'll go ahead and cut this out as well. So I'm going to also keep the yoke aside. Like I said, you never can tell, you might need it for another project. So I'm going to cut out the pieces we will not be needing, and this is the only piece we will need. So I'm going to cut out the dart. Like I said, that is why I said we had to replace the dart measurements that we added earlier. So this is our back piece. We have the center back, which is a small piece, and the side back, which is the big piece. So we are going to see do our arrow placement, indicating that that is how they'll be. So now this side back is going to be attached to the front piece, right, to the side front. So I just took my side front and did the arrow placement, showing that this side back will still be attached to the side front, if it makes sense. So I'll just go ahead, after doing the arrow placement, I'll still indicate CB, which is center back, and SB, which is side back, and the back pieces are in 1 and 2 as well. So this is everything for the pattern drafting. Make sure to subscribe for the part 2. And in the part 2, we are going to cut this on our fabric. We are going to sew this reversible corset blouse with tieable straps, and it's also going to have a modesty panel as well. And I'm also going to show you guys how to properly fix your bra cups into your corset. If this is something you want to watch, make sure you keep on watching. Bye.